Hi everybody, welcome to the Galvaniize Insurance Power Stage. As you can see, car number one, Harry Bates and Coral Taylor. If they've had a trouble-free run through here, we'll let them jump up. Looks like they're going to take victory here in round 4 of the Bosch Motorsport Australia Rally Championship. It's the middle of everywhere Gippsland Rally. A little bit of talking through here. Of course, they'll take the round win, celebrate here, but it'll be about how many points. This power stage becoming really important in regards to points, etc. Looking for a chock from somebody to try and fledge the car up for a photo. Great run, very tricky rally for them, to be honest. So difficult stages for everybody. As you can see, big celebration. The crew are actually over here, this Boysdale sort of autocross track. Great run, tricky stage. There we go. Car's now settled. Harry Bates and Coral Taylor. Here we go. There's the shot. Going to the front. I'll try to stay away. Great embrace. Another round win to Harry Bates and Coral Taylor. What a combination this is proving to be. I'm sort of just trying to wait for that. You're going to do your shot there, Harry, or not? You want to have a chat, or you want to jump up on the roof and you do your quick... No, you've done it. Oh, no big celebration, mate. Congratulations. This has been a really important round, and I'm sure you're feeling quite happy and comfortable with the win.
Yeah, it's a very important one for the championship, obviously, being, you know, the halfway point and second half of the season starting here. So strong one for us. Obviously, you know, led from the first stage to the last one, so very happy with that. And, you know, even today when we backed off slightly, our pace was still okay. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to sort of battling it out for the rest of the season with Scott, but it's nice to have a bit of a points advantage now.
It is so close between you guys. You cannot sneeze, and today it went the wrong way for Scotty, but that's what it's going to take. You really can't break you guys on the stages in regards to times. It's so close. It's almost a forced error in some ways.
100%. Like, you know, yesterday was just so close all day, and even today I think we were separated the most all event by 4 or 5 seconds on any one stage. So it's very, very close. Yeah, hopefully I can get some points in here as well, because that all helps.
Now let's look at this Galvaniize Power Stage. It's a tricky one, this Galvaniize Insurance Power Stage. It's almost a stage of 3. It can lose time in here. Did you think that run's good enough to get maximum points or not?
No, it wasn't a very good run, to be honest.
What did you do? What would be... You're pretty good in this stuff normally.
Yeah, normally pretty good in here, but I think this year being car 1 in here compared to last year where we were car 10, it's a very different stage, and they'd wet the stage down as well by the looks of things, which I just struggled on that surface slightly. So anyway, hopefully we can still pick up some points, but I don't think it'll be enough for it all 10. I actually think Lewis will probably get us.
And in this one, that's important because the power stage points are, you know oh so well, you and Lewis, on how important that is. It's all great to get the stage win, the round win, but these points stack up, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah. Like last year, if you look at the championship, it came down to 1 point, and it literally came down to the power stage. So in my ideal world, we don't have a repeat of that this year, but I'm sure all the fans are hoping that's exactly what happens.
Us included. Mate, congratulations, you and Coral. Another great rally.
Thanks, Dino. Cheers.
Well done. So Coral's gone over. I was going to have a chat to her. She's not too stressed as the car rolls away. We've got a little bit of a hand there to stop that. We probably would have expected, I think, 2-minute gaps through here for Scott Petter to roll through the line shortly. You can see a little bit of dust in the foreground. I was mentioning there a stage of 3. What I mean by that, they start this 2.35 kilometres on a main shire road, turn through a difficult gate, and then the over my shoulder is where they sort of run through a really narrow section of forestry area, then onto that autocross track, which we sort of saw this morning, loop back around. So I can see a little bit of dust. There's a car on stage, but of course can't hear anything with Harry and Coral. I think they're going to probably park up and see how their times go. So it's going to be about what time can obviously the rest of the field do. Harry's not confident, but he's been very good in these stages before. So we're having a little bit of a look here. So everybody's a 225.8. We're getting some information that Scott has ripped a left rear wheel half off. So he's done some damage, maybe in this stage, and probably limping to try and hold second place. So that might be why there's a small delay. I'm expecting. So left rear, Scott's struggling through here. So let's have a look to what happens with that. Difficult for Scott. He'd had that issues this morning. His aim was to try and sort of get back and stay in second position to get those maximum points. So power stage points potentially off the table for Scott Petter. And that'll help, obviously, Harry out with the points buffer. So led the championship coming in here. We'll extend that slightly. The big question now will be, can Scott get this thing back through and not only park here, but also get back to service and things like that. So we'll have a look how much damage there is. He's been able to complete the stage. Is that enough to even hold second? You can see all the damage from the front of the car. See the car crabbing. So Let's have a look. There you go. Left rear. Big hit in the rear door. I reckon that's potentially happened at the back. Let's have a chat. He won't want to talk about this one, but where'd that happen, mate?
Very first corner. Just really slippery and got on the gas and hit the tree on the outside.
It's been a tough day, mate.
Yeah, stupid errors, really stupid errors, and we only got one spare, so it's gonna be interesting getting it back.
All right, mate, I'm gonna leave you with it. So Scott Petter and Glenn McNeil got a little bit of work to do to maybe get this car back. They don't know that it's fully inflated, but drive shaft ripped out, it's locked up. So park it up and have a look. We'll let the powers that be work through that. He's obviously finished the stage, but big dramas there for Scott Petter and Glenn McNeil to deal with. They've dropped 58, so to be honest, they're probably okay in regards to second outright. No points here in the power stage. The drama for them to getting back to the Petters Rally Central to try and lock that car away. So big news there. This could have big championship implications. It just needs to lock away the points for Scott Petter and Glenn McNeil. So next up is, of course, going to be Lewis Bates and Anthony McLaughlin. Comeback drive after Queensland. May have been held at the start knowing that Scotty had an issue. So they looped back on the same piece of road. So you can see sort of some start-ups in the background there for him to start the stage. So we'll also have a few gaps. Alex Rouleau has gone out earlier today, as has Peter Rouleau. So a disastrous run for those Hyundais looked after by the WA team in Race Talk. We've had a few issues. We hear from the Luff brothers who dropped a minute. And even Molly Taylor, we're hearing rumours, who is leading Main Fix production, may have a drive line issue. So this, talk about endurance, it's going to be endurance all the way. So big, tough event and hard to finish. And of course, unless you get all the stages done, that's when you lock away the points. So still a little bit to play out in production, the cups and outright. And of course, what Harry will be interested to see is what Lewis does and what might happen. So still hanging around, just waiting to see whether we can get a bit of info, maybe celebrate with Lewis and Anthony, who did a fantastic comeback after, like I said, Queensland. So these new Rally 2 spec Yaris wasn't their weekend in Queensland necessarily, but they've turned the tides and a few other teams starting to struggle a little bit. Coral Taylor adds another rally win to her amazing CV. 5-time champion now, of course. Another rally win here in Victoria to her. Spent so much embrace there, of course, with Harry's father Neil to win 4 of the championships, and great partnership and a very important role that the co-drivers play. I might try and still chat to Coral. She hangs around there. So, like I said, championship-wise, I did have some points listed down there, so we know that Harry, so he's got to go to make sure the times work to check in. It's not going to hang around for Lewis. Came in this rally 207. He's locked away the 100. That gets into 307. If Scotty Petter can get that car limped back, he'll get 80 and drift to be 33 back. He's not going to get any Galvaniize Insurance Power Stage points. He'll be hopeful that little slippery run also for Harry knocks him back a few points as well. So it's all to play for here, and big chance, big opportunity for a few of the teams to get maximum points here. Thinking of Lewis Bates. Eddie Maguire could make a comeback here. He had a bit of a horrible day yesterday, had a puncher, sort of fell in that battle for the top 3. This might be an opportunity for him to bank his first power stage points. So sort of here in the background, like I said, they run back through into the autocross section. Nice arena, a great crowd here that's attended. So they're all across the other side of the trees. We're sort of on the outer side in the car park. The car park is full. The organisers here were seeking extra spaces, so being well received by everybody in that regard. Lots of cars here and lots of spectators over the other side away from where we are. So just listening in the background now, I suspect they did hold Lewis up at the start. He'll come across the line. 3rd on paper it will look like, but what's his time going to be like? And it's going to be all about the power stage points. So see if I can get a time before he comes in, but a good solid run. He'd be pretty happy with that. So Lewis Bates, not quite, 1.6 off Harry. So Harry's still the leader at the moment. Lewis, a little bit of chaos right to the end, typical rallying. I think you're 1.6 behind Harry in there, so second fastest at the moment.
Yeah, okay. Not sure what happened. No chaos for us, but maybe others.
Yeah, did you get held up at the start? Because Scott Petter looks like he's hit a tree on the first corner, then dragged it on 3 wheels through the stage. So I suspect with the loop in the middle, they might have just held your start time a little bit.
Oh, shit, that's bad luck. Yeah, sorry to see them, but big congratulations to Harry and Coral. They've driven really well this weekend and stayed out of trouble. For us, I can't thank the team enough. We gave them a lot of work in the break, and Yeah, they fixed the car and it ran faultlessly all weekend, and I'm glad we could get a podium.
Pretty amazing from a big crash, biggest of your career, to then turn around and repair that car in time and do a rally like this and run with no apparent faults that I'm aware of with your car is amazing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I might be biased, but we have a very incredible team behind us, and Anthony and I are very thankful for that, and we're glad we could get a podium this weekend.
Well done. Power Stage, did you think you might be able to nip? Harry thought he was going to struggle because it was a little bit slick in there where it had been watered down on the track. So did you have a good push?
Not really. It wasn't a great run, to be honest. I've not had the feeling all weekend, but we're going to reset for SA and we're going to give it a good crack.
Not bad when a not great feeling run ends up on the podium, mate. Great bounce back. Congratulations to you and Anthony. Well done.
Thanks, Dean.
So there you go. Good run by, you see the team giving you a clap there. They would have been pretty pleased with Luigi getting, as they call him. It's not my nickname, but I think they call him internally there at Neil Bates Motorsport, to do a great job. So second, so 1-2 so far for the Bateses through the Power Stage. Third at the moment. Scott's still got a little bit of work to do to get back to service. We'll see how that all unfolds. So great run. This really opens the door. Both Bateses not necessarily happy with how their run through this Power Stage went. So does an Eddie Maguire rock up the Luffs. I know Alex Rouleau particularly would love a run on a Power Stage. He's been very close before, even Peter Rouleau for that matter, who are still out in the forest dealing with their Hyundai. So real opportunity for some people who haven't necessarily had Power Stage points to step up and either potentially take a stage win or even get some points which will add to their outright tallies. Of course, said Molly Taylor possibly having an issue with the drive line. We'll expect her through soon. She's in probably the tightest outright battle. Her and the Luff brothers have sort of alternated spots through out this last sort of couple of stages, and they're only 5.5 seconds apart. Now that's in an outright capacity. I think Molly probably not too worried about that, probably more worried about her production cup points, because this is her last stage of the season here, and she'll bank her 4 rallies worth of points, and that's all she'll see for the season. It's going to be about the rest of them hunting that down. So Eddie Maguire, is this his big chance to come through and whack a great time and head up the leaderboard? Nope, not good enough either. He's 3.8. He's third quickest so far. Eddie, it's been a tough day right to the end. That is a tricky Power Stage.
Yeah, it was a bit tricky. We ran a bit wide on in the bush section and lost a fair bit of time. But yeah, it's good fun. It's been a great event all in all. I've really enjoyed the roads and the car's been great. I just haven't. I've been to blame this weekend, but that's all right. We'll work on that and yeah, we'll be at the next one.
So when you say you're to blame, what are you putting that down to? I mean, if you say the car's good, where do you find the time?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be to blame. Yeah, I don't really know. I felt all right. I just not pushing hard enough like I should be, and yeah, it's strange. But anyway, I'll work on that. Maybe I didn't recce the stages as well as I normally would, and didn't focus on that side of things.
You've been in a great battle though, saying that with Lewis and particularly Alex. It's sort of Harry and Scott who are really setting the benchmark in regards to times.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say they've stepped it up. I just think maybe where we struggle, these are very tricky roads, and I just think the reading the road and the notes, we're probably not at the point they are.
You also got a few Australian champions in there that you're trying to battle with, mate, so don't be too harsh on yourself. You're doing a great job, you and your team, and of course still fairly new to these cars, and the ARC for that matter.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our background's mainly tarmac rallying and a fair bit of gravel too, but yeah, thoroughly enjoying the championship and this car, it's great. Zach's doing a fantastic job. Zach's only really new to this stuff as well, so you know he was probably his best efforts this weekend. So no, he's doing great.
Well done to you, and well done, Zach. Good job, mate. Got the thumbs up from the driver's always a good note, isn't it? Zach in the background there, co-driving with the sunglasses on. It's pretty cool. I'm going to try and bounce through to get some idea before we came into this stage where we're sitting in an outright terms now. We've got the Subaru results hub page coming up. Let's see if we can go after 16. Luff's potentially into the fence, we're hearing now as well. So it is chaos down here at the moment. So hang on, let me just try and regather our thoughts. So there's a lot going on at the moment. Let's look at after this one, because obviously it's going to come down to where we're sitting, stage-wise, etc. overall. I'm going to try and go to 16, just to get an idea where Scott Petter's ended up with these cars that have come through. It's only 4 cars through, would you believe? Big delay. Luffs have gone through a fence. Okay, so they've done a bit of a Scott Petter. So this is proving to be a really tough Power Stage. Would you believe it looks like Scott Petter would be third and he would be less than a second behind Lewis? So dragged it all the way to here. to finish 0.7 of a second in third to add salt into the wound. But that still will be important to try and net that third place. So that's how close they were. 2 minutes 32.3 to Lewis behind Harry for the rally. Scott Petter 2:33.6. So, oh, there we go. Master's a bit poor there, 1.3 seconds, but still close. Eddie Maguire fourth at the moment, third in the power stage. So still a little bit to play out. And of course, they may delay this stage further if the Luffs are in the fence and they can't collect them off there, because of course it does loop back on itself, unlike a traditional rally stage. So the organisers are very aware of trying to make sure that the gaps are held, and that's obviously what happened with Scott going a little bit slower through the stages. So a little bit to work through on that point of view. Prior to that, so we'd done 15 stages out in the forest. This is only 2.3 kilometres and already causing a lot of problems. Let's go to 15. Coming into the stage, it was actually Harry 1 minute 35 in front of Scott. Lewis was third. Eddie Maguire's about 1 minute 30 off him in fourth. Then it was Molly, and that was that tight tussle with the Luffs, who are now in the fence, which is disastrous. Even if they had a little issue, they were sixth outright coming here, a possibility of fifth. And now, of course, going to be ruining that. I'm hearing some cars, so maybe that's them limping through as well. Bodie Reading done a great job all weekend, was second in the main fixed production. Someone's coming. Ataka-san in the Toyota was eighth, then Peterson and Ridge. So they're crabbing very much like a Scott Petter. They may have done the exact same thing. A little less damage on the rear door, but same amount of problems on that left rear. Let's see what he's got to say. Going to struggle to get the door open. Jamie, where did that happen?
The first tight right-hander, we just nicked the pole on the outside, so I'm not sure how bad it looks, but it doesn't sound real good.
Well, you've done it. Would you believe you've done a Scott Petter? Scott Petter did the exact same thing. You got a wheel hanging right out. Yours is a little more intact than his. Wheels, tyres still up. Guards are intact. You just sort of pull that lower lateral arm out. So you got a bit of work to do to get back to service, mate.
Yeah, we'll go tape some shit up and see what we can do.
All right, I'll let you two do that. Won't hold them up. They've got a drive shaft out the back as well, so that's going to be their issue, is that rear diff with the drive shaft. So a little less cosmetic damage, but exactly the same thing. That must be a tricky first right-hander, smacking into the tree. So wow, there is plenty going on there. Just gonna, well, Rob chases them and follows that. I'm just going to try and regather some times on what goes on. Of course, the crew are allowed to offer advice. They can't touch the car. They can only use anything in the car, from spares and tools and the like. So getting a bit of information from the team. Let's have a look. We're expecting Molly Taylor to be maybe next up on the stage. Just trying to work out where the overalls and how much time the Luffs may have cost themselves in there in an outright capacity. There's a real opportunity for someone to just checking that and testing what it's moving and looking like. Brad's out of the car currently. He'll have to jump back in. So the Luffs fall to be 8 behind, so they're going to lose a couple of minutes at least. So we'll hang in there. Championship manager Adrian Coppin's walking up here, probably wondering what's going on in these last stage. So if he's limped through, might have had a hole up, but then we'll probably expect maybe Molly's next on the stage in regards to a next car on the line. We've heard that she was running through with a driveline problem, maybe a prop shaft issue. We saw that happen at Forest Rally at round 2, where she'd finished one of the stages. Lucky it was the last stage of the day and not very far to service. Prop shaft on the Subaru, you know, it's actually had a carbon version, actually snapped in half. Sounds like you can just hear in the background. So just over my shoulder there through the trees, you can hear it more than see it. It's a really narrow section. I would have thought that's the trickiest part of the stage, to be honest, but it seems like that Shire Road, whether they wet that down, I'm not sure, but it seems to be really slippery and catching people out. Just trying to listen to the noise of that car. Definitely off-throttle and things, so I think she is limping through as well. Man, this sport is unbelievable. We keep saying it's never over till it's over, but this is an actual part of that. You've got to get to here without issues, and as we see sometimes in the WRC and Asia Pacific alike, this can be causing some issues. So sorry about the delay, folks, but obviously we just act on what happens here out in the forest, trying to give it to you live, so you're seeing this action the same way that I'm seeing it, and of course causing a few delays. So once they've come out of the forest, it's into that arena section. They run through on a quite nice little autocross track. This club do a fantastic job in regards to setting this up, and they do some great club motorsport events here. Great way to learn the skills of rally driving and driving on the dirt and things like that. So running through that section, then across the line, back where they've come through and through to here. And then the issue is Hayfield, finish of the rally in the final time control, is some 30 odd kilometres away. And we're going to, of course, drive on the public roads to get there. I can hear the Luffs just in the background there. they're going to look like they might be trying to make a bit of an attempt to, probably hard to see from there, take that wheel off or re-inspect that. You can see the rattle gun going. Shut the car down. So Luff's deciding to try and do some makeshift repairs here before they head to the stages. Okay, so stage-wise, let's give an update there. So the Luffs, Petter beat them by 14, not that that's any consolation. Right, Molly, is she limping as well? Let's move up to the line here. Can't see anything hanging out of the car. She may have made some makeshift repairs herself. Let's get an idea and gauge on time. So, yeah, Molly's 20 behind. It's not as bad as the guys who've been into the scenery, but Molly, we heard you were having some issues in the penultimate stage, potentially. Is that the case or not?
Yeah, in the high-speed stuff, the prop shaft was sounding like it did moments before it went bang in WA, but thankfully it's not too high speed there, so we just tried to look after the car and not put too much to it.
So the prop shaft's in play. It's just obviously moving around in the tunnel and you can hear it. Now you've got to try and lift this car back to service and maintain and protect your lead in production and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I didn't make it easy for myself just driving past one of the turns there. I was looking for the gate and someone had knocked it down.
There's been a bit of carnage going on in here. Scott Petter's been into the tree. He's got a wheel hanging off. The Luffs are just around the corner there. So if you can get this home, not only will you bank potentially all the points for main fixed production, you may end up fifth outright. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, the car's been mega all weekend and it's been great to have really good competitive pace in the production, but also kind of outright as well. So yeah, it's been a big year and a lot of amazing people that have helped make this happen. So very grateful and very happy to be here.
Crazy sport, isn't it? You've got a massive calendar with E-Extreme and Rallycross and stuff like that, but you just love a traditional rally, and the ARC is pretty cool, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it feels like home here, and just, you know, when you have a good stage and everything goes together, it's the most incredible feeling. So we'll just keep trying to do what we can to keep those moments alive.
Now, of course, you'll be sitting back. You said you'll be now for the rest of the season eating popcorn watching the ARC. I'm not sure that's how relaxed you'll be. And what we chatted about was the fact that now once you get back there, let's not call it too early, you'll bank your points. It's now, in a way, it's a weird sense of production being, you'll set the benchmark in regards to that's the points you can bank. Can a Bodie Reading or any of these guys get you? But you'd love to get a production cup to your name as well, wouldn't you? Particularly because that was your aim this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we look at it, every time we finished, we've scored the maximum points available, and then you take out camber, you take out the drive shaft. So I think, like, we've put everything out there, and that's all you can do really. So now whatever happens will happen. But I think we can sleep well knowing that you know, we were able to put on a good performance from our side.
Indeed you can. Well done. Good job. Congrats. Get it back there. We'll see you on the podium hopefully.
Hopefully.
A little less of an issue. I'm just trying to have a look underneath. It's just probably that prop shaft is basically going from the gearbox through to the back diff. And it's probably just knocking around. There's like a bearing in there that holds it. She's obviously hearing that vibrate, particularly at high speed. Let's have a look. Would you believe at the moment, Scott Petter's fifth in the power stage. I doubt that he's going to hold that, to be honest. But, right, who's coming through here with a bit of pace? Bodie Reading. Let's see where he can lob on this power. Fourth quickest so far. And a great run in production. I don't think he's going to get to Molly. That's a great solid run from the Tassie boy. We keep saying ably assisted by the Les Walkton crew, and a good run in there. Bodie, the good news is you're here straight and probably a lot less drama than some others, mate. So congratulations on a solid, really great solid 2 days.
Cheers, thank you. It's been a really tough weekend, and we broke a drive shaft just then, so we're lucky to actually even get here. So we really struggled through that one, so it's probably why the time's a bit slower than we'd like, but we'll make it back, so it's all right.
So did you break a front or a rear in there?
I think it's a front. It's just, it seems to be pulling really hard one way and just not turning at all. So yeah, I think it's just the front left, I think.
These rallying knows how to bite, doesn't it? You think you got part of it, but it's the beauty and the hard bit of motorsport and rallying particularly, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Like we overshot a junction, and I just tried to reverse back, and I might have jumped on the clutch a bit too hard, and I heard something go twang. But yeah, that's it. We're still here and we're still fighting, and we'll be here. We'll be at the next one.
And I think the good thing is Molly's now out of the equation, and apart, if you take Molly out, you've been on fire. I think you stepped up the pace. I think you're a bit disappointed after Queensland, and so you must be pretty delighted that you've found that pace and you're definitely in the fight amongst all the production runners.
Yeah, for sure. Like we knew that we were off in Queensland, and we wanted to really try and bounce back here. And you know, be on the pace and be in the top 3 at least to try and score good points. And, you know, hopefully we can continue that on for the last 2 rounds. And but yeah, huge thanks to the Les Walkden guys as well for coming on board again and doing what they do best and getting us to the end. Without them, we wouldn't be here. So huge thanks to them and all our sponsors as well.
Congratulations, like the rest of them. Limp home carefully and make sure that drive shaft doesn't cause any drama. But well done for the effort this weekend.
Cheers, thanks, team.
Well done to Bodie Reading and Mark Young there. Car number 9, and like I said, 4th quickest, and he's right, he's 20. He just beat Molly by 0.3 of a second in there, so everybody having some dramas. Really only 3 runners with a clean run. Harry could get these maximum points. That would drift something like 43 points in front of Scott Petter, so that hurts. Probably more actually, because now Scotty's in 3rd, so that mistake here in the power stage 1, no points available for Scott Petter, and he's dropped just behind Lewis to add salt to the wound. So a little bit going on there. Great run by Bodie. There's a couple of young guys in that series, particularly Aidan Peterson, Ryan Williams and the like. Obviously Clayton Hoy, who did fabulous in Queensland, had his mechanical, so there's still a lot to work through and play out with production. So we might hang in there for one more. I mean, we'd normally try and do 10 or so. We'll see who's going to come through next on this power stage. There's still going to be lots to unpack, particularly in the highlights show that you can join Greg Rust on. That's going to be at rally.com.au/TV. That's our highlight show with Greg. We'll get the panel on there. Let's talk to the winners, etc. And we will cover off some of these class awards and bits and pieces and how it all shakes out to get back to Hayfield into that Petters Rally Central and lock away what's been another extraordinary round of the Bosch Motorsport Australia Rally Championship. Amazing. And, you know, Bodie Reading talking then, you know, after his big accident last year, came back, won the series and sort of maintaining. And he knows that he's got some raw pace, because someone who's battling last year, of course, was Steve Maguire, who ended up on the podium last year. Steve, issue yesterday. He's parked in the shed today, as was Tony Sullins. And we also had Gary Yeomans, who was in the WX Challenge Car. All hit the same stump. I think Bodie hit it, but only just. So if you see the highlight show there was a big stump hidden in the grass that a few of them hit. Did some major damage doing some high-speed work through there. So, yeah, a little bit to play out. Rob struggling with the camera here as we try and hang in there. We've only done about 7 cars, Rob. I feel like we've been here for about an hour. And let's just see if I can get onto the Subaru Results Hub to give us some information, as it's a very quiet Yaris maybe coming through here. Let's see if he ends up in the points here. Try and get my other one up here for this stage here. Time, we're going to go to the driver's door, right-hand drive being the production car. Go to this one. No time just up yet. Great job. Ataka-san from Japan started off with that excellent. Congratulations for finishing what's been a very, very tough event.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was quite a nice rally. I was enjoying a lot.
Now, after your problems on the shakedown, you had the problem with the engine. The team have done an amazing job, and the car since then has been very reliable, and you've been very fast. I think you've ended up on the podium for production. Well done.
Yeah, I really want to say thank you very much for the team. They did an amazing job. So, thank you very much.
I'm sure they appreciate that. And of course, I hope you've enjoyed. What do you think of the Australian Rally Championship at the moment here?
Yeah, I've done many countries rallies, but this is, I can say, toughest rally. Then quite enjoyable.
There
So
you go.
I hope I come back to here.
We hope so too. So, arigato-san.
Arigato.
Yeah, there we go. Great stuff to have them here. And there you go, one of the toughest championships in the world. It's done some WRC events. We'll wrap it up here. It's round 4 of the Bosch Motorsport Australia Rally Championship. Galvaniize Insurance Power Stage. Plenty more to play out. Do go and look at the highlights. You're going to have to catch up there because we're struggling here. So rally.com.au/TV. And, of course, all the results you can, of course, monitor yourself on that Subaru Results Hub. That's all from me and Greg Russ for this round as far as the live goes. We'll see you the next round in South Australia.